Alright, good morning. It is, well, afternoon actually. It is a partly cloudy, somewhat sunny, light breeze. Got a bit of a breeze to it. January 3rd, 2025. Temperatures are dropping. Went below freezing earlier today. It's supposed to drop through the 20s into the teens and stay there for a couple weeks. So all of the 7 foot of snow we got in December is gone, and 2 inches of rain, 3 inches of rain has gone somewhere, probably the creeks, and now this is all going to freeze solid, which is good for doing work on a trail, and also good for the using the sawmill. Because if it's 3 feet of snow, it's hard to move. Yes, I have used a toboggan to haul equipment and logs in the past. My body's not up to that stuff anymore. And if it's warm and muddy, then I have to hand pull this thing through 4 inches of mud, and that is not used to look forward to that because it's a big workout, but my body responds inappropriately nowadays for that kind of behavior. So here's the thought. I think I'm going to try to pull out the tractor, because what I have to do, 2 things I'd like to work on, and one requires not hauling too much stuff. So I have some down trees and stuff, small trees, so this is the equipment I need for that. But I have to hand pull probably 3/4 of a mile one way to get to the spot, which I don't know, I'm not feeling that right now. Or I gotta load up a whole bunch of more equipment, PVs, chains, come-alongs, ropes, straps, for a tree, which is only a 1/4 mile pull by this, but that's a shitload of equipment to be pulling by hand through mud and stuff. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get the tractor out and see how we do on a longer but less heavy pull. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, we got to the tree. This is where we need to bring the heavy equipment to. You can see things are starting to freeze, and that's the boardwalk we put in so that you don't have to go through all the mud and stuff in there, and that worked out pretty good. So I don't have the equipment today. Maybe tomorrow we'll bring the bigger load, and we'll work on getting this tree down. Alright, well, we gotta get this out of the way to continue on. So good thing I brought the chainsaw and the pole saw. We'll cut this up. This is probably, that's a foot, foot wide, not a foot in inches, but a foot wide. So, not sawmill stuff. So it's either gonna be cut up for firewood, which I don't need, or leave it big and that stuff, go with that stuff and go in a chipper real easily. That'll make a nice lot of wood chips, and we'll clean all this up. We got a brush pile right here. Okay, that went pretty quick. Stuff's in the brush pile, and we got these pieces here. If these were ash, these would not go in the 7-inch chipper. They'd be too big, but since they're pine, I could easily chip these with the 7-inch chipper. Make some wood chips out of that. I really don't need firewood. But just FYI, it is cold out here, so when I take my glove off to use my camera, my fingers get pretty freaking cold pretty fast. Alright, things are pretty frozen, except this section here, you can kind of see it's just frozen on top, but there's usually a lot of eggs up here. This would not be suitable for the tractor yet. We'll need to a couple more days or something. But this is the area that we wanted to work. Yeah, this is going to be, well, we can walk through this part, maybe, without falling. But this is part of the trail that we did not get to in the fall here. You can kind of see this fence has fallen this way, and we were not able to get back here and clean up all this stuff because, you know, we gotta get all the way down to that white fence there. So that's what I wanted to work on today. Been called to do it a few times, so we'll get the chainsaw out, clean up some stuff. We got a couple of brush piles somewhere in here to put stuff. All right, a bit out of breath, but that's because the age I'm at, with pacemaker, I don't know what the issue is. Cold, something. So we made some progress. You can see we made a pretty big brush pile over here. Yeah, clean up a couple more in here and then try to get through a little bit more. Okay, I walk in the project site. It's that's the Western Sky, and it's like almost 5 o'clock, so we probably got another 15-20 minutes, and it'll be to get back to the house. So we got a brush pile, and we cleaned up quite a bit of this stuff. Now we can at least walk through, but this stuff over here still gotta get cleaned up. You can see that needs to get some over here. And there's still some stuff down farther here that not as much, but yeah, we'll come back and we started another brush pile in here too. Yeah, you can see how the fence is just all falling down, but we'll clean it all up. I was hoping to get to it in the fall, but I didn't. Maybe it's, you know, just as nice working now as it is in the fall, in the spring, something to do. So. It is Saturday, well, it doesn't feel like a Saturday, January, let's call it 4th, 2025. You can see by the motion of the trees, it's still pretty windy. So it's probably 25 mile an hour winds instead of 35 mile an hour winds. And instead of 30 degrees, it's probably 20 degrees. So it's just as cold a day today. And you can see that the ground definitely is frozen now, but where there's standing water, most of that's frozen, but some of the bigger spots, like down there, is probably gonna still break through. So we're gonna work on cleaning this part up here, and we got some more stuff along the fence line, down fence line to work on. Alright, that went pretty quick. We got that cleaned up. We've got it on that brush pile. We got a couple of logs. I think they're suitable for chipping. We'll get those back to a chipping spot. And we have another brush pile in the back here. And we still got a couple more things to clean up in here. Okay, let's walk the project site. I think we're going to be done in this section for today. This was the site of all that. We got that put up. There's some other down trees in here. And we clean that up. And you can see that this is downed fence line, right? So now the trail used to be right here, and the fence line has fallen on it. So now I'm not running my tractor over fence line. So now we either have to move the trail on the right side, move the trail on the left side, or fill all this down fence with wood chips thick enough that it will bury it all, which is always a possibility. Plenty of down trees all over the place. This issue of getting a wood chipper back here. And we got it cleaned all the way up to here. This is where my trail usually goes. And my house is down that way somewhere. Alright. When the chainsaw cools off, I think we're gonna head and trim up some of the brush line too. Those I could put on the cart, but the cart's down there because that's all ice and it's not strong enough to support the tractor, and I don't want to drag those by hand all the way down there. So we're gonna wait till that freezes more, or is more suitable to get the tractor all the way down here. Alright, that's why I like to trim up in the spring and fall these tall ones on the side, because you get a little snow load, they bend over and break and get away. So we gotta trim these up, put them on the brush pile. We cleaned up that section there, and we got a couple more down branches here we're gonna clean up, and it's probably gonna be getting dark. Alright, we got that cleaned up. There's a brush pile right there. And my chainsaw is running out of gas. And it's getting late in the day. We got probably another 20-30 minutes of sunlight. So we're going to call it a day. We got this brush line all cleaned up, which is good. I'm kind of out of breath. Maybe carrying some extra pounds from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's festivities. And 6 layers of clothes. So we're going to take a break. Tractor's back inside, nice and warm. We were almost out of gas on the tractor, and we just about ran out of gas with a chainsaw. And take a look. There's our support, keeping the hitch off the mud that freezes. So that works out good. And here's my other little support I made for the trailer dolly, keeping that ready to go.